Hello friends, this is Ashish. This is the first video as part of the series SQL Server tutorial for beginners. Today we will talk about SQL Server architecture. SQL. SQL is an structured query language to query and manage data in relational database management systems. Relational database management system is a database management system based on relational model. In these kind of system, data is stored as collection of tables. Table is combination of rows and columns. Within RDBMS, we can have multiple tables. Some can be interrelated based on common columns. We can have some other objects also in relational database management system. Those objects can be used to query and manage data in these tables. SQL Server architecture consists of SQL Server instances. Within SQL Server instance, we have databases. Within database, we have schemas and objects. Transact SQL. Transact SQL or TSQL is an extension to structured query language. Microsoft SQL Server and Sybase SQL Server supports Transact SQL statements. SQL Server instances. A SQL Server instance is an installation of SQL Server database engine. We can install multiple instances of SQL Server on the same computer. Each instance is completely independent of the others in terms of security and the data it stores or manages. At the logical level, there will be hardly any difference between single system having multiple instances and multiple systems having single SQL Server instance. While if we have multiple instances within single system, then they do share physical resources like CPU, disk, and memory. One of the instances will can be set to default, while others will be named instances. Uh, if we want to connect to a SQL Server instance, we need a login and we need to type the login. So first we need to create the login, then we need to type the login to the either Windows authentication or SQL Server authentication based on what kind of authentication we want to log in. So within a computer we can have multiple SQL Server instances, and within every instance we can have multiple databases. So some databases got automatically created at the time of SQL Server installation. These are all system databases. System databases have information about like system level information, and it is used for several internal purposes of SQL Server. User databases are created by user after SQL Server installation is done, and user databases has or holds application level data. T-SQL code runs within a database context. The database user is an entity where we can set a permission to objects in the database. Every database has data files and log files. By default, every database must have at least one data file and at least one log file. A data file can be a single master file or multiple file where we will have one master file and others secondary data files having extension as MDF and NDF respectively. Log files have extension as .ldf. The data file holds object data and the log files holds information that SQL Server uses to maintain transaction. Data files are organized in a logical groups called file group. A file group is a target for creating an table or an index. Within a database, we have multiple schemas, and within a schema, we have objects. You can control permissions at schema level. Within a schema, we can have all objects like tables, stored procedures, views, triggers. Uh, sec- so security is one of the consideration for determining how to arrange objects in a schema. Schema is used as a prefix also when we refer object name. So if we refer object name using schema prefix, then it is called schema qualified object name. So it is also recommended that uh, in SQL code we should always use schema qualified object name. The reason behind this is because if we do not uh, refer object name with schema, then SQL Server tries to resolve the schema, and it takes some very less time, but it takes some time to find out the actual schema of the object. Um, Other than this, the worst case scenario can be if we have same name object within the same database but in different schema, and if we are referring that object without giving the schema name, then uh, that code might pick up the object which we actually do not want to pick to use in our code. It may end up picking the wrong object. So to avoid this condition, we should always use a schema qualified object name. So that is all about SQL Server architecture. I hope you like this video, and if you like it, please share it with others also. Thanks for watching this. We will meet soon, and have a good day.